SO-DO! Let's game! Make a game! What's a game? What's a game? I'm a Kamen Rider!
Hey everyone, welcome to the 86th episode of the SO-DO Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
You know, unlike Nintendo, I'm going to allow Mr. G to, copy things from my Shapeways site because, it's kind of a wish list of sorts, and maybe I have some other ideas that I need to upload.
Alright, guys! That's Malunis, by the way, as usual. Thank you so much for being here, because this is the first episode of the year!
Yeah!
We're doing it, guys! Yeah! And for that, we're gonna do a special, as our topic, a top 5 toy lines, for 2020 that aren't SO-DO, that aren't Candy Toy. No particular order, by the way, we're just gonna talk about them. And then, before that, we got news, because we're back! We're finally doing it! So, I don't know, let's hop on into it, because we got some interesting stuff coming out of SO-DO this week.
Real quick.
Something I did not expect.
Real quick, is it anything besides this one blog post? Because I saw Super Mini Plot, but when I took a quick look at it, it didn't look like anything Sentai related.
I'm pretty sure that's like a Super Robot something. I don't think there was anything. Otherwise, we would have done a news episode in the interim. But yeah, let's talk about some SO-DO, huh? Well, obviously, we got Bremen no Rock Band as I guess the new figure. Is this our first time looking at Book 5? Releasing in February? Yeah, because they didn't show off anything else. I believe this is our first Book 5 look. And I don't know, it looks good. It's almost exactly what we expected. Except for, I expected... What's his face? I expected Slash's gun mode for his sword.
Everyone did.
Yeah. But instead, we just got an upgrade set. Malunis, how did you get into their offices?
You know, it was very difficult.
Right, yeah. How are G&D doing at this time?
I'm surprised they aren't fired yet, is what I'll say. so much paint.
Right. So yeah, instead of giving us the gun, which, I'm patient, we can wait. They gave us the, I guess, back ends, the butt ends of the Seiken sword. Seiken sword or Seiken sword driver? I think it's just the sword.
I think you would say sword driver when referring to the belts.
Okay, I see. It would honestly have been really interesting if they gave us like a peg hole for the belt, but I guess it doesn't make sense without the little, I guess, gem at the center of the sword. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting 3 of them, presumably. Toward the end of this portion, they said, and since the handle of the sword is the same shape with 3 types of saw drivers, Saber, Blaze, Espada, with sword handle X3, it's become more and more. Summary: the originally long holy sword is much longer. So whatever the heck that means. I think that means that we get 3 of them, which, awesome. I really like it. I'm happy about it. Does not come with stickers though to spruce it up a little bit, but that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine by me. If it's only 1, then it's just I'll just wait until the nice high quality image of this wave lineup, and then hey, I can just make my own.
Yeah, or potentially you could just you don't have to even model it. You might be able to mold it. You could take the actual sprue that I'm sure they're gonna come with, and then make a mold of it yourself. You could even mold it in the fun different colors that you were talking about.
Yeah.
If you want it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It comes as a shock. I like it. I'll take it.
It's kind of funny that this happened because, when I made my own on Shapeways, I kind of based it on the DX toy, I think, and I might have used some shot from the show. But recently, the two things that I noticed recently, just paying more attention to it, was one, seems like it's different kind of proportions when it's plugged into the belt, and two, when they're holding it, it is way thinner and longer. So I was actually looking at that recently, just thinking, wonder if I should make a new one.
Oh, so I mean, you basically have yours is not obsolete technically. It is accurate to a version.
It for sure looks it for sure looks like it. It's just that it's not 100% perfect.
Sure. So yeah, it's really cool. And on top of that, like, that's not the only new thing we're getting in here. We're getting an angled right hand, which I don't know why we're not getting an angled left hand, but I guess that's probably because, he's wearing Bremen no Rock Band, and it would be weird to put a different hand there.
I was about to say, I can't remember a writer who's actually left-handed.
I mean, he double wielded in a recent episode.
That's true. Oh yeah, anytime
so there is precedent.
Anytime he uses Arthur's too.
That's true. Yeah. Well, SO-DO Saber can't use Arthur's right now because it doesn't exist.
So there's no problem about the left hand.
Absolutely not. But toward the end of this, toward the end of book 5, hopefully we'll be getting our EX or whatever 5.5, whichever they want to call it. I feel like they called 5.5 that for 01 just because, like, he's robot-y. He's got numbers all about him.
It's
but this one,
technically
I
a
don't know
form
what
change.
they're going to do. Like, it is, yeah. A very strange one. I don't know that I really even want it anyway. But we'll see. Yeah. This is neat. You can swap it in pretty easily with Slash. Would be great if he had his gun, but alright. Swap it around with everyone else. It's a good time. That's really it, though, for him. It's neat. I mean, it's about what we expected in terms of, like, the sculpt of it.
And since it's been a little bit,
there's no...
Yeah. I was going to say, since it's been a little bit, just as a reminder, Book 4, we already know all the contents for, and it's coming out towards the end of January, thereabouts. And this one is for Book 5, which we don't know anything else about, other than the preview said, new character, don't know what that means.
Yeah, no idea. So, you were talking about Book 4, that comes out at the end of the month. But you know what came out this month already?
In fact, this day.
SHODO-X 11. And on this day, yeah. We have SHODO-X 11, and it's looking good. And hey, it's got an awesome new commercial. I love it. I love it. We got sort of an in-depth... Huh?
I love whoever's doing these photos. I think they're just so used to doing Showa riders that they've just kind of got that desaturation going on with Xaid.
A little bit. I see it in the ones that aren't in the typical SO-DO set. You know what I'm talking about? Like the images there. I don't know. It's fine. We got an in-depth look at it. There's not too much to report outside of, hey, the double action gamer, those actually come with 2 of the Gashikon key slashers in the expanded part set. So if you buy one expanded part set, you have enough for everybody.
Is that confirmed to be within the one box? Because I know we got a case assortment, and we know that there's 2 of those accessory sets.
It says 2 Gashikon key slashers are included in the expansion parts set.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm very happy about that. Also, what's on the key slashers? It's not just paint; it's a sticker. Same with the chest details on everybody, and it's I want to say it's a new type of sticker that I don't think Candy Toy has seen before. Potentially we've seen this type of sticker on Gashapon before, harkening back to the action figure saga, that really cheap line that had the awesome figures. That ended too quickly. These are PET stickers. PET. I feel like it might be like a plasticky sort of situation, but they are a lot more durable than your standard foil stickers, so you can knock them around a little more or like manhandle them a lot more.
Interesting.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, I can't wait to try these on. Apparently they're a lot like smoother to the touch. So that's what makes me think of the Gashapon ones, unless I'm misremembering, which I absolutely could be. But I'm excited to get these in hand. Are the bands missing a little paint detail? You know where their t-shirts end?
I'm looking for it now. Where their t-shirts end.
What else would you call it?
Are you talking about the torso, or the silver torso armor?
No, the arms.
They should have
the sleeve of the t-shirt ends.
That stripe should be painted.
Right. Same with the right above the ankles, right?
Oh yeah, and the shoe detail.
And for that matter, the feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Missing a bit, but I mean it's completely fine since
Candy Toy.
This is Candy Toy and we don't have to paint this. So that's really good. I like the look of it. I think it's fine. Also, I've been working on a commission recently, so that's why I'm super critical of these things right now, and it's an X-Aid focused one. But these are great.
Yeah.
You know what else is great?
Rider Man.
Our accidentally pink boy, Rider Man.
I was about to say, looking at these photos, you wouldn't be able to tell that there's so much pink plastic. Did you see the photos in our chat?
He hides it well, man. He's looking stunning.
Blade Raider.
He is now up.
Blade Raider. He didn't have photos of the toys in hand. He just had screenshots from a YouTube review, and the inside of the Rider Man helmet, when you like remove it from the neck joint, that whole head appears to be pink plastic.
That's incredible. I love so much that like it being in a line with X-Aid is so now tied to this figure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'll be so easy to identify, oh, wow, this one came from the X-Aid line.
Yeah.
X-Aid was in this one.
For people who don't know, that whole sprue that all the hands come on. The hands are painted, but they're all cast in pink plastic, including the little thing that wraps around the ankle.
So, basically, all the PVC is pink plastic, presumably.
Oh, yeah, I guess
and that's how the molds work. So, I don't know, I appreciate it. That means we get a fully painted head, and it looks great.
Yeah.
Because they also completely remolded the head. As well as all the other parts of his body, because he does have the extra drop crotch. So that's good. I'm glad that chase variants are a thing of the past, and I don't have to track down 2 of these to get his extra arms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I do believe he is the final Showa rider we needed to like complete the 7, to unite the 7.
Okay, I was about to say he's not the last one. full stop.
Oh yeah, he's not the very last one. I think we still
Bandai.
need a re-release of Jay and whoever Jay looks exactly like.
G.O.
This is another dude. I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And
It's
also-
that's what I was saying. It's just looking at you, premium Bandai set. You're next. You're on the chopping block.
Stop.
No, I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
to be taken out. Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, did they ever release an SH Figure Arts J?
I'm pretty sure they did all the show writers. Yes.
I could probably pick one of those up, and that'll be good enough.
I've thought of that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I've asked the question in our Discord, like, does anyone know if there was ever like some obscure, really large action figure of Kamen Rider J that for no particular reason?
Also, I mean, if we're going back to the thought of I guess things that might work in scale, I want to bring back to the table what is his name? Arc?
Yeah.
From Kiva?
Yeah.
Big boy. They made a
Sochaku Henshin.
Sochak Henshin, yeah. They made one of those for him. He's got real big shoes, but I feel like his scale is mushy enough that you might be able to like fit him into this.
There's the one screenshot of the end with all the movie writers, and yeah, it's like that's close enough. That's fine.
Yeah, I want to try it, and like obviously, if you got a J figure art, it would not fit in scale with that stuff. But if you keep them separate and put J alongside a bunch of other Ultraman figures, I'm kind of looking at the Ultra Action figures now as my Ultraman solution, and that could be a really neat display.
Yeah,
to just put J in there as well, because those would scale well. I don't want a 2 scale Ultraman collection with my 3 3/4 figures, but I do want my Ultramen to be larger than any of my other figures, and I feel like that's good enough. You know. Oh yeah, Riderman Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It exists.
You know, it's it's really weird that you would. It's like you bought a car and you say, "Hey, this is now Corey Machine." Like, why would you name it after yourself?
Over on the Zukan, the official quote-unquote wiki, as I like to call it, under the category of Rider Machine, they just have, like, the trailer that G3 travels in.
Give me that. I want that.
I feel like that's definitely...
I want that playset.
I feel like that's definitely come up in our Discord before in the subject of, just give me a G3 playset.
Hey, speaking of playsets, while we're on this subject, I feel like we're mostly done with the news.
Yeah.
Before we transition to talking about other stuff, next week we are getting more Book 5, and we're getting new SO-DO Chronicle information.
Yeah. It's like, what
prepare your wallets.
I was about to say, like, what is this going to be? Good news, or is this going to be sad news?
Hey, it's I feel like it evens out. Good news that it'll exist, bad news that we'll have to buy it with the money that we don't have. Yep. So we'll see what that is. Speculate in the comments down below what you think we're going to be getting, because it's one of 3 things. It's either going to be the start of a new set, Gaim, or a continuation of an older series. So
I saw mention of,
we'll see.
In our Discord, I saw both mention of wanting more O's and wanting more Dino.
Interesting. I mean, I'll take more of those other ones. Like, I do want completion.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that this is Forze's year.
Oh.
Right? We are now within Forze's year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as, like, I am 100% okay, never getting SO-DO Chronicle representation of Forze, because his candy toy line was so definitive and so good and so fun, that, like, you know, Chronicle would be fine, but I would much rather have him in SHODO. But if you do Chronicle, that leads us into my Megamax set that I've been begging for. Malunis, I gotta ask you, when you went to Mega House or wherever D and G Man are, did you tell them? Did you grab them by the collar and say, "Hey, we need a Megamax set"?
I don't know. I think mentioning Aqua kind of gave Mr. G some PTSD flashbacks about Kashin. So I don't know how
that's unfortunate. You know what? That is actually very fair.
Might be a little bit,
but
you know,
a reasonable thing. Yeah. Yeah. I if they are starting something new, it better be Forze. I swear to God, if we jump over and don't do someone, like, if we somehow start retreading, like, older stuff from Shodo, like, what did we already do? Kuga,
Kiva.
Kiva. Well, Kiva could be good in Chronicle.
For a second,
because he needs more stuff.
For a second, when you said we better not be retreading, I thought you were going to suggest something like, "Hey, we're doing Deno all over again, but this time ball jointed hands."
Oh my God!
More paint. That might be good.
Oh my God! I mean, it could also be potentially a bike set for Gaim. I don't know how far into the line we got it for double and... Oh, wait. O's needs one as well.
See, I was
there are
just...
a lot of bikes we need.
I was just bringing up the thing again that I've been saying for a while is if you're going to do Deno's bike, if there's not enough, like, if people don't really care that much about the bike, toss in Momotaros. What the hell? Just toss in Deno Platform 2 while you're at it.
I mean, why stop there? Toss in the whole Den liner.
That's true.
I'll take the whole thing. Yeah. Give me parts conversion set for the Strike version. Give me parts conversion set for the Deneb one, the Zeranos one. I'll take all of it.
Nice.
I want a 2-scale Den liner playset. I wonder, because, like, playsets and or displays are one of the things that you could vote on in the surveys, if I remember correctly. I wonder how much they are considering that as an option.
Well, I do know that the surveys also include things like I think Gaim might have been listed for Shodo, and also the Triderone was listed for Shodo. So it's like, I guess that's all an option.
Yeah, I would. I don't know if I might be shooting myself in the foot here, but it would be cool to get a Shodo Gaim as well, with a Shodo Drive and Trideron to, like, all just fit in that one car. Because I don't know if the Chronicle one would fit, since there is a size discrepancy.
Yeah. I gotta imagine that they're probably keeping an eye on those surveys, but they're maybe just doing like, okay, so we've got SO-DO Gaim going on right now. We're obviously not doing Shodo Gaim, but we at least know that there's call for more fruit, so let's do something about that.
Sure. Let's head to the market. Let's get some fruit to them.
Yeah. Pine cones.
So I don't want to drop this thread. I did cut myself off from saying something earlier, and it was about playsets. There is a brand new Fortnite playset for Agent Peely. I think the Shadow and Ghost version of Shadow and Spectre version of Agent Peely, and it is a playset with those figures and an entire bookshelf display, 3 panels of books, and a chair which could easily be
Bon lecture.
what's his face? I guess that guy. But I was thinking of Bloodstock.
Sure.
Yeah, an Evolt chair. Yeah, that would be neat. But you know, the entire bookshelf set itself, that could easily work as a transformation thing for oh no, Saber. Jeez, I almost forgot. And then, or it could just be a playset for his hangout spot, which is fine. Another thing I discovered was that the pegs on SO-Do figures for the feet are the exact same size for Fortnite figures, so all the pegs on that playset are compatible with.
I love when that happens.
Oh yeah, don't you love uniformity and modularity? It's the best thing ever.
Especially because I feel like the deluxe figure line for Ryder has had that sort of foot peg just for years, and I'm pretty sure that at least once every line they make use of it for something, like the watermelon mecha suit. Mm-hmm. But it's like all these figures have got the same peg hole, but they just never have anything to do with. And it's always just like, I guess I appreciate that sort of uniformity, but it's like, can you guys make more use of this?
Yeah. No, I mean, and on top of that it could still work with other lines that maybe we have not discovered yet, you know. So who knows? I would like them to make more use of it, though. I don't know what their aversion to playsets. Well, actually, I guess I do know what Japan's aversion to playsets are. It's just, you know, space. They just don't have a lot of it. Playsets, I feel like, are more of like a Western thing to clamor for, potentially.
That's true, and I you just reminded me of the fact that one of the gimmicks for SO-Do Saber was you can stack the display stands vertically to save space. Yeah. Also, there's someone in our own Discord who. There's someone in our Discord who very kindly, after every wave comes out, will just take a photo of how many stands they were able to stack up together.
Nice. I love that. Now put your figures on. See where that leads. But all right, Malunis, you and I, we are big SO-Do, SHODO, Yudo, a lot of Do fans. SHODO sometimes. We look at it from a distance and go, hey, that's cool. But we also do that to other lines. We collect other ones. And, I don't know. Let's talk about some of our favorites from 2020, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Going into this, I did not make a list. I did not come like fully prepared. I just know that I really like talking about other toys. I don't know. Do you want to go first? Do you have one that you would like to discuss?
I'm trying to place whether or not this came out in 2020. Kidder Major, SHODO-X. That was a notable one.
I mean, I was gonna say that we weren't gonna talk about Candy Toy, but we can. Oh. We absolutely can.
It's like the only thing I collected in 2020 just about was SO-Do.
What about Polynyan?
Oh yeah.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Polynyan. I mean, I don't remember if I got any specific one within 2020, but good line.
Okay, is that all you gotta say about it?
It looks it may look a little bit horny on the surface, but it's actually a very clever figure line, is what I'll say.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'm glad you addressed that part, because it does absolutely look like that.
It's yeah.
They do look really neat though, and there were some like, I don't know, there were some neat things you were talking about it with, like the accidental it worked with Anima Gear slightly.
Yeah.
On accident. Yeah.
The company that made it, I think they started out just like making little garage kits for other properties. Like there's famously a Metroid figure for Samus, and it's just like they have this whole setup of these very big ball joints that use 3mm pegs. It's like all the figures are kind of designed so that you can like swap parts around, and the character designs are all they're very similar. Like they all have similar proportions regardless of gender, so you can just like customize them the way you like. Kind of make your own characters in a way.
That's nice. Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, and like you were saying, there's the latest wave of Anima Gear had these two cute little female robots, and it turns out one of them just, the head design, or I guess both of them, the head design is exactly the right size for that line. It uses 3mm ports, and the design aesthetic actually fits in perfectly. So I've seen some photos of people just like making characters out of them.
That is incredible. I like that a lot. What so this is the obvious next question. What's the scale?
That is 1/12 scale. They're about like 5 inches tall.
Huh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I move on to one of my picks?
Sure.
Alright, I don't want to go for the obvious ones just yet. Star Wars Mission Fleet has been one of the greatest joys of my collecting of last year. Because, you know, as much as I love Star Wars, it's really hard to, like, hop into a new line. Do I go 6-inch or 3 3/4 inch? Obviously 3 3/4 inch. Do I go 5 POA or do I go super articulated? There are different versions of the super articulated ones. There are a bunch of the 3 3/4 inch 5 points of articulation, but there isn't as, big of a selection. It's mainly been more, I guess, popular stuff. But Mission Fleet comes along and within its first wave gives you an X-Wing, a TIE Advanced, it gives you a Millennium Falcon, it gives you Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, some speeders and all that stuff. There's some Mandalorian stuff. Like, it's all over the shop. And, you can also get a bunch of army buildable clone troopers. That's how you get me. That is how you get me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I've collected a lot of these. Specifically the clone troopers. I have in my collection about 6, and I'm getting 2 more in the mail soon. I really like the Mission Fleet figures, and they look like they should be collectible enough. The only reason they're not higher on my, I don't want to say higher on my list, because this is not ranked in any sort of order, but like the only reason I don't like them as much is like the price point, because they are $8 per tiny figure. And that is the price of a SO-Do figure. That kind of sucks, but I don't know. Mission Fleet is such a good time. It has been such a fun time, and they don't come out too often. Like, the next wave has a bunch of repacks and maybe like 5 new things that you need to get. And it's a really easy line to collect. I think it's one of my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, Malunis, I do have a question for you. As much as we collect toys in physical stores, you have introduced me to a lot of 3D printable toys. Are there any lines that you thought stood out to you, and did you want to highlight any of those?
Ooh, let's see. Trying to find names of one specifically, because there have been some cool stuff.
Yeah. The one that stands out to me that you specifically recommended to me was that line of non-transformable Transformers.
Yeah, that's from Toy Maker 3D, without the E in Toy Maker.
Oh, okay. Cool. I really like their stuff. I want
Yeah.
to print some of it.
Yeah,
that'll be a good time.
I think that this is a good companion piece for the current action figure line that Transformers is doing called RED, because it gives you things like Optimus Prime and Megatron at a 6-inch scale, and I think that the way that this guy has been doing these is that some of them are kind of in a 5-inch scale, some of them are in a 4-inch scale, based on like there's a very vague sense of scale with all the different characters, and I like that idea.
No, I don't remember, and I know scale is like a wonky thing in G1, but were there points where Bumblebee was just the size of regular human person?
More or less.
More or less? Okay, so that'll fit relatively fine.
Yeah, when it comes to scale with G1, the image I always like to bring up to people is that one time that the small size truck transformed into a very large truck that a character who's taller than him started driving.
Remember when Devastator was just accidentally in a shot next to a bunch of the I think it was just some Constructicons or maybe regular Decepticons.
Yep.
I don't know.
Wonder if they made a toy based on that.
I hope so. Hey, I mean, they did make a Super 7 Devastator that was, taller than the regular 3 3/4-inch figures, but I'm sure would fit well with any standard 6-inch Transformer.
Nice. Put it next to a bunch of Starscream colors.
Yeah. So, tell me more about that line. Like, what are some of the other features outside of scaling well within itself?
Well, it seems like everything that this particular content creator, I guess you could say, artist, I guess you could say, it seems like everything that they've been posting has two things in common with each other, which is that one is they're specifically listed as no support, which is a good thing. Yeah. It means you don't have to bring it into your print program and generate some sort of support system so that gravity isn't an issue when you print these. Yeah. All the parts are already designed in a way and also positioned that's not going to be a problem, which I appreciate.
I absolutely love that. That is a design scheme that I am wanting to try my hand at. Yeah. But for now, I got to print with supports.
The other thing that I like is that with the Transformers one specifically, they do this thing with the files where each of them is titled differently to indicate which color they're intended to be. So if you want to print them each out individually or group them together, you know which color you want to group them in.
That's cool.
Very nice.
It's like a sprue.
Exactly.
Except the sprue size is your print bed size.
It's 5.5 inches for me.
Oh, okay. Well, all right.
Since I've talked about that before in our Discord, so I do want to share another one that I'm kind of interested in.
Sure.
There's someone by the name of Ryan Chapman. I don't fully know what this guy's background is, but apparently he has done some work with Hasbro on Star Wars.
Oh.
He designed a Black Series figure for this really lanky robot that was in the Han Solo movie.
Oh, that's cool. Is it L3?
L3?
L3 3T?
Oh L3, yeah, the one that reads as Leet. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, got it.
Would have expected that one from the early 2000s. Anyway,
yeah.
Ryan Chapman has this. The reason I bring up the fact that this person has done some professional work is because they also Gem Defenders, which is a Steven Universe figure line. Not like a hugely well-articulated figure line, but
Whoa!
It's like, hey, someone's actually trying to make these characters into figures. That's cool.
I like that a lot. Whenever, a big part of enjoying a show for me is seeing if there are good toys behind it. And I saw, I feel like this is in a similar vein. She-Ra
Yeah.
and the Princesses of Power. That didn't have like a toy line at all, and I feel like, you know, if people are making toys for Steven Universe, I feel like they could make them for She-Ra.
It's almost more insulting that She-Ra doesn't get a figure line, because what they're doing with He-Man is just like remaking the original toys. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's a practice that is. They do. My friend Chris Long collects them, but that is a practice that is starting to happen a lot more. Well, it's not starting to happen. It's already happening. Like, you know, Transformers are basically just G1 with knees now, and they are extending that mindset to Masters of the Universe, and even now, the old Power Rangers flip heads. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
That one, the flip heads, I keep remembering that they exist, and then each time I'm just like, God, why?
Like, here's the thing. I was not going to buy them unless they were 3 3/4 inch. When they weren't, I was like, all right, I can swear them off. I don't need them. And then they announced Ranger Slayer, and I'm like, oh no, oh, this is exactly what I wanted out of the legacy versions of these from Bandai. To be like, all right, we're doing the main 7, 5, 6, yeah, we're doing the main 7, and then we're also just going to be expanding this line out for every single thing. If they make that line as extensive as I would like them to, and like blow it out into different shows that haven't had flip heads before, I would love to see that. I want that. And Ranger Slayer is the first step. Yeah. And if they're going like comic verse for this as well, like if that is strictly where they're going, you could get the the Splinter team that branched off. I don't keep up with the comics too often, but I know, things just show up on Twitter, and I've seen designs. It'd be cool.
The 3 characters who went off to go to a peace conference, it turns out they went to space.
Yeah. So I want those. Though I don't know why they didn't just use the Die Ranger suits. I would have liked that. I've got another pick. This is a line that I brought up earlier, Fortnite. But I collect it on and off. But my favorite part about Fortnite is that every store always bloats with too many of them, and they are left with far too much stock, and they usually clearance them out. And I have so many. I army build, I think like I army build an irresponsible amount of the robot character, the AIM robot. So one of my favorite toy lines is clearanced Fortnite toys. They cannot be full priced. They have to be clearanced or on sale.
Nice.
That is the version of the line that I am collecting. The Fortnite figures are really good, and Jazzwares has Jazzwares, right? Yeah, Jazzwares has moved on to also doing Halo figures, and they fit exactly in scale. Like, I was wondering, all right, this is going to be a 3 3/4 inch toy line, but I've heard that Spartans, the regular soldier looking dudes from that game, they're taller than most people. And my friend got it, and he said, oh yeah, this is like 4.5 to 5 inches tall. This may not be in scale. But then, he realized, oh shoot, yeah, this is in 4-inch scale, because when he got like a regular dude, it fit. So,
nice.
Jazzwares, as a company, is doing really well with the 3 3/4 inch stuff.
Good for them. I always heard mixed things about them, and it sounds like they're doing well now.
It does. And you know what? I don't much care for Fortnite or Halo, but they're making really good toys, and I can really respect that.
I have nothing
so much for the 3 3/4 inch space.
I have nothing against Fortnite. I just, to this day, I still have barely ever seen any gameplay footage of it. And recently I thought, it's free. I should probably give it a try. And then when I tried, loading up on my computer to join a match, it just kind of loaded forever, then crashed. And then when I decided, you know what? There's a phone version of that. I should check that out. Turns out they had some disagreements that got them pulled off the App Store, and they never got put back on the Google App Store. So, guess I'm not playing Fortnite.
Oh, well. Yeah, I haven't played it either. I guess we're old. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I also just don't have anyone to play it with. Nor that I don't really want to. I'm not big on shooters, I guess. I don't know. Hey, I don't know. This is a shot in the dark. You have a DS, right? Like, have you had one at some point and or own one now?
3DS.
A 3DS. Have you heard of Drawn to Life?
I feel like that sounds familiar.
Okay, it's basically a game where you drew your own character and you draw a bunch of the elements within the game. They made a sequel, apparently, a third game, or a fourth or fifth. I don't know how many they made, but they made one, and it came out recently to like zero fanfare, and it's like $10 on Steam. I'm thinking of buying that. I was hoping that you knew about it, since it was an art-based thing for DS.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's one of my old favorites. But hey, do you have any other toy lines you wanted to highlight?
Let's do a check-in on Transformers, because I think the last time you and I talked about it on this show, properly, was the convention where they revealed Earthrise stuff.
Oh,
possibly?
Wow, that must have been a long time ago, because conventions don't exist anymore.
Yeah, I think it was also a long time ago, because I'm pretty... Maybe this says how recent it was, actually. I'm pretty sure that's when we first talked about Dino Fury being a thing.
Oh, wow. No, that's old. That's so old. Oh,
It's I couldn't remember how far in advance we knew about Dino Fury.
Yeah. So how much of Transformers have you been collecting?
Well, okay, so there's a couple things that I think were released this year, or in 2020, that, it's just a couple things, but they mean a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, it means a lot to me because of how unexpectedly fun it is as a concept. It's the playset characters, Ironworks.
Ooh. Yeah.
It's of all the things that you could bring back from G1, is this playset thing that I gotta imagine one or two people were probably thinking about, but I don't think anyone was actively thinking, yeah, that seems like something Hasbro would bring back.
Right.
Yeah, it's just it's unexpectedly fun. Just even though I've only got the one, maybe someday I can collect the rest of them. But I just like this idea where especially right now, Hasbro's really into just G1 with more articulation. So when you get something that's not just G1 with articulation, it really stands out, especially right now.
Yeah.
It's just, I love the idea of taking those places and just being what if we made this into a character? Just, yeah. And also the fact that did something that they did with that first trilogy, the Combiner Wars, Titans Return, Powers of Prime, where they reused a gimmick, but they reused it in a cool way. Whereas the guys who were weapons, who split into attachable armor, they just kind of applied that sort of, I was about to say applied that technology, they applied that engineering to make a playset that also becomes armor, and I really am just into all these ideas coming together.
Yeah, and that, honestly, it's those, the modularity, the combinability, all that made me want to get into it, and also, I love Micromasters and stuff, and I have a few of them. What killed it for me, though, were the Micromasters, just because, well, we do have to add all this extra articulation, and now the transformations aren't, like, super stable. Nothing, like, fits together as well, and, like, some of the arms on some of them, like, rub right against the joint, and I don't like it. So to me, they sort of overcomplicated the concept of Micromasters, but I so much love the idea of playsets interlocking and having tons of tiny little guys to, like, populate it.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I like Mission Fleet, but that's really cool.
Yeah, it's the one downside with the playset thing was just the fact that, yeah, it turns out, I guess maybe because of COVID, we only really had 2 unique designs that then continued to be reused as redecos. I mean, they found ways to make that work. Like, there's actually a kind of clever 2-pack where they just had a bunch of Micromasters with the 2 sets, and the play sets were made to look like this one cohesive play set.
Oh, are you talking about the play set where everyone's trying to cosplay as Skylinks?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. We were talking about that last night on the streets. That is a fun looking set. They even took the cannon from Double Dealer and used it as a rocket. I love that. And it really speaks to the modularity of the entire toy line. So,
and it seems like they have continued using that playstyle with the Transformers Kingdom's Fossilizers, which is very bizarre. But the moment that I was into it was when someone just had a bunch of copies of the one and then combined them into this what looks like this skeletal Dark Souls boss, and it's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Man. It's like once you
sounds like a Drawfee video.
Yeah, it's like people are already doing the thing where they just have a bunch of copies of one of these guys to make them into a big combiner, but like once you make it into bones, then it adds a new layer to it.
Man, I mean, like, I'm still not fully on board with those. I mean, I'm obviously not going to buy them anyway, but like, what was funny to me was, like, one of them just had the head of Optimus Primal's flail from the toy. And then, apparently, and this is spoilers, I guess, for the Netflix show for Kingdom. So, go away if you care, but also, I don't know that anyone cares. But the spoiler pack, you know how they do the spoiler packs for the Netflix show?
Yeah.
Where you don't know what figure's in there? Apparently the next one, it's rumored to be Megatron with one of the fossilizers, and the fossilizer is going to be a purple version of the flail looking guy, and it's because Megatron has an energy flail, and that's why it's just cast in purple. I can't believe it.
Yeah, there's a photo of that translucent purple one.
Yeah. So that's pretty fun. I'll give them that. That's pretty fun.
The last thing regarding Earthrise, because I think this was Earthrise. I can't remember if it was Siege or not. I can't even remember if it was 2020 or not. It's been a very long year. But
yeah.
One of the things that they released that I was very excited for specifically was Ape-Face, Decepticon Headmaster guy. It's because among the
one that got a headmaster and then his own figure, right?
Yeah. It's like Ape-Face is kind of a random character to have a nostalgia for, I guess, but it's like among the handful of hand-me-down toys that I had as a kid, one of them was actually, very specifically, the head of Ape-Face. Like, the little robot that becomes the head. It's like, how about that? So, like, when Titans Return just, like, released that on its own, I was just like, this is almost tailor-made for me.
Yeah, wow, that's awesome.
But just also,
I'm
having the
100
having the full figure is also pretty cool. Just because, like, the head design is different on this one, and it looks a little bit more like the one I remember.
Nice, that's really cool. I'm very happy for you and your specific collecting needs. Yeah. I do kind of want to just... We are almost an hour in. I do kind of want to just fire off my last two.
Sure.
One of them should be no surprise. Final Faction. The 3 3/4 inch 5 POA toy line. That, their channel, the one they uploaded the episodes on, interacted with us on our channel. Like they commented on my unboxing of it. They even told me that, hey, those swords are removable, and I'm like, oh shoot, they totally are. That's awesome. They're a Dollar Tree exclusive toy line, and you have zero reason to not pick them up. I'd say they're one of the most fun I've had, I guess, with toys in a bit, just because they not only make, these awesome army buildable aliens, but they have accessory packs, multiple accessory packs that you could fit onto your aliens and customize them with. So I accidentally got one of the larger figures, and it did not come with its weapon. Thankfully, there were just tons of other weapons I could throw on it from one accessory pack. It is a really well done toy line. And I can't wait to see more from them. So yeah, Final Faction, really great toy line. My final one is... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, regarding Final Faction, it's nice to hear that it's doing some interesting things, because it seems like, a YouTube series is tied into Dollar Tree. I could see how that'd be an easily mockable thing. I'm glad that it's actually doing cool stuff. Let's not comment on the show.
Yeah.
Just keep it positive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really awesome, and they're $1 each. You have zero reason to you don't have any reason to skip these. There's no if you see them in the toy aisles at Dollar Tree, there's no reason you should not be leaving the store with a full set. They are really fun.
Nice.
Yeah, they're good troop builders. I have so many.
Presumably an easy gift.
Oh, absolutely it is. For any 3 3/4 inch collector, even if they're not collecting them, I'm sure it would be super fun just to get a bunch of those in the mail. Hey, my final one, you know what's coming. I have a brand new channel about it. It's DC Spin Master.
The Spin Master.
Yeah. I love 4-inch, 3 3/4 inch. I love DC. It's a no-brainer. They knocked it out of the park. They knock it out of the park with every single release, except for their distribution, because their distribution is garbage and it's hard to find a bunch of figures. It is incredible that my collection is complete as it is, and it is only because I have the support of so many other people looking for me. But it is one of the coolest lines that I've collected in a while. Despite all the all the repaints, redecos, and all that stuff. It's a fun time. I don't know. I love it so much. I could gush more about it, but like I said, I have a brand new channel for it, where I basically do SO-DO pop, except for it's all about that thing. So,
Yeah, I was about to say, speaking of YouTube channel based toy lines, I guess for Josh, I'll just say shout out to Lightning Collection.
Oh yeah, shout out to Lightning Collection. We can get his perspective next week, because I do believe he will be back next week. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Lightning Collection recently as well, because Taka from Kotetsu Toys Secret Base on YouTube just did a video earlier where he was unboxing the Shadow Ranger and just talking about his initial impressions of Lightning Collection as a Japanese fan.
I remember when the first ones were starting to hit Japan, and they were talking about the difference between Western gummy joints, and that was where I recognized that was like a big distinction in the way that we enjoy toys.
Yeah, and there's also the thing that Taka reminded me of, which is that when Lightning Collection first got revealed, there were people in Japan who were just like, finally I can have an action figure of Deca Master.
Finally they can have action figures at all.
Yeah, that actually did make me wonder. I wonder how many Sentai characters have never even received like anything other than maybe a chibi or a vinyl figure.
Yeah. Vinyls used to be so extensive, and now look at them. They can't even get to the 6th Ranger. It's sad. But hey, you know what isn't sad? The time we had today doing this show. So it was fun. I had a good time. Yeah. Malunis, do you have anything else before we ended off our show this week?
That was a solid episode. I'm looking forward to seeing what SO-DO Chronicle brings to us. Yeah, maybe people who comment can like let us know what they think we'll see.
That's true. Yeah, you could absolutely leave predictions in the comments down below or on Discord. We can read them off. Yeah, put it in the topics. It won't be our main topic, considering we'll know the answer that day, but it'll just be really fun to see how close we get. My solid prediction, the one that I'm gonna throw out there, SO-DO Forze. That's my prediction.
I'm speaking for one of the people, I think it was Dresden Nova, who had just coincidentally recently said, whenever they get to Falchion for Saber, maybe they can do that at the same time that they reveal SO-DO Chronicle Ghost.
Falchion?
It's like the movie.
Oh, orange guy with the 2 people behind him.
With the suit.
Never mind. You probably yeah. No, that yeah.
But yes, it's just it's just like because I thought of that when I saw the blog post today, because it specifically said new character in book 5 and also new SO-DO Chronicle news. I'm like, did your prediction actually come true? Crazier things have happened for SO-DO.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely see if that does actually lead to Ghost. I mean, like, is there any connective tissue to like an anniversary or something nearing Ghost?
Probably not. I think that realistically the closest thing would be Forze, because
Forze
it debuted 10 years ago.
10? Okay, hold on. Forze, Wizard, Gaim, Drive, Ghost. So that's... Oh, okay. We are 1 away from Ghost's 5th. Maybe.
And you think he's going to be popular enough for them to do that?
No. No. I think he's SHODO. I genuinely think he's SHODO and nothing more.
Sure.
That's where I'm placing him. Yeah, I'll take it. Anyways, guys, thanks so much. I hope we have a fun new year. I hope you guys had a fun new year. And then I remembered it was 2021 still. I hope you guys have a manageable new year. I hope you guys are finding some positivity wherever you can. And you know, taking care of yourselves, because that's really important. Especially now. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening to potentially 86 of these. Keep it.
Later.
Let's game! Make the game! What's your game? What's your name? I'm a Kamen Rider. Level up! Mighty jump! Mighty kick! Mighty action! SHODO